we talk about Greenland, right? We talking about Greenland. We talk about Venezuela. Venezuela got the oil. Greenland got the minerals. Greenland got the minerals that China trying to invest in and trying to buy, right? You get
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying? You got the oil in Venezuela, right? If I ain't mistaken, Russia and China was dealing with that oil out of there, right?
Uh-huh.
Are we
Right.
in a
Yep.
battle or a race against China when it comes to the oil and the mineral, and they trying to disguise it as something else?
I
I
mean, I
think
think
so.
that I
I
think
went.
public news. If you follow the world economy and what's going on in the world, I think everybody knows that that's what we're fighting over. Because
Right.
just a small tidbit to that, Africa is starting to become a slowly starting to become an economic power, and people want to be able to support that through minerals, through oil, through so our world is changing, and oil is a part of that. Control is a part of that, and strategic defense is part of that. Because you can't fight wars without energy. You need energy
That's
to
true.
fight wars. So the
Yep.
more of it you can control, the more power you have against your enemy. So you're 100% right. You see the big picture that we this. Yeah, yeah, I definitely feel like what you said
Yeah,
is true.
it is. It's chess. We looking at checkers right now. And that's the. Hey,
Well,
I
some
see
people
that.
playing checkers, but I think
Right.
I think the bigger establishment, the governments, the different governments, they know what the real play is. You know, they know. We just
I'm
don't
gonna do a
always
BRICS
know.
episode on financial tech talks too. I think I'm gonna come out with a
We
BRICS
should do
episode
that. We should do
pertaining
that.
to that, man.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I'm about to
but
invest
look,
in
man.
Africa.
I'm telling
I'm
you.
about to invest in
I, oh,
Africa,
I
bro.
hear I hear stuff about Africa all the time, and it might be a place that we might want to start seriously
Look
thinking
Invest.
into.
about. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
seriously.
trying to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
the black brother that get left out when they come out on top and we on the bottom, bro.
Hmm.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're
But nah,
right.
Big
that's
shout
it.
out.
I
You
got to
right.
say, man.
You right. You right.
Yeah.
You got any? Hey, before we leave, y'all. Any shout outs? Anything y'all want to talk about before we get off this pod, man? Hustle
Mhm.
Society Trap. Another successful episode. What's up?
Yeah,
Anything?
man. Shout out to Tony, the Porterhouse LLC. Shout out to the Sports Lounge 757, man. Shout out to Pookie, man. Shout out to Jimmy the
Shout out
Saint,
Boogie.
man. Because if y'all didn't watch that interview with Jimmy the Saint yet on YouTube, go watch it, man. It's an author
Yeah,
with
go watch it.
over 30 books, a catalog ranging from R&B to hip hop, man. I'm talking about movies on Tubi and Prime, man. We dropped that episode, matter of fact, yesterday at well, it ran an hour late, guys. Forgive me, but it's dropped. It's up there, man. It's a great episode, man. So make sure y'all go check them out, man. This man, matter of fact, shout out to y'all for having me on y'all show, man. Um, hey, I'm learning something new. But other than that, catch me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that, man. What about y'all guys?
Hey man, I just want to give a shout out to y'all. Of course, it's been a while, Myron. So I'm glad to hook up with you again, man. I enjoyed the show.
This ain't the last.
Oh, I know, I know. In the days of always, always enjoy being on the show with you. Good conversation. Um, as Myron said, I always learn something new, and I appreciate it. And yeah, and also yeah, shout out to my company, Porterhouse LLC. We're an Airbnb business. If you're in the Virginia area, look on Airbnb. You'll see our we have several properties, and we definitely would love to host you. So
I got a question.
yes, sir.
Let me, and I tell you, I know you got to get shout outs. I know you're trying to end the show, but it never gonna work that way when it's up
I'm
there
over
and
here
they get
watching the
talking.
Senior Bowl while y'all doing that.
Hey,
It's
let me ask
yeah.
you a question, Tony. With the
What's up?
when Trump came out talking about he wanna raise the he don't want to bring the value
I'll be
of
right
the
back, y'all.
houses down.
Oh
He want
yeah,
to
yeah,
bring them
yeah.
up,
Uh
right?
huh.
So let me ask you a question for somebody trying to buy a house with the wages that we are making, the cost of
Mm,
living that we are making, it's
mm.
in kind of impossible right now. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
But
understand.
how does that benefit the housing area, or how that benefits the people that's trying to buy a house or rent a
Well,
house?
so that's a good question. So the way it works is though housing prices may not go down, if interest rates goes down, that puts you in a position to be able to buy. Now, the bigger kicker is the down payment. So if you're a veteran, then you can use your VA benefits, which that's what me and my wife did. We bought a couple of our properties using the VA benefits. But
Okay.
if you have to go conventional, meaning you have to put that 25 or 30% down, you still might be out of the market. But if you're a veteran, you in the market. You know what I'm saying? Because you can use your if you that's a guarantee. They guarantee your loan, so you definitely can buy a property if you're a veteran. You just as long as your credit is good and you can pay because usually when you do a closing when you're a veteran, it's like I mean you might have to bring maybe 6 7 thousand to the table, but that's nothing compared to having to bring 30% to the table. You know what I'm saying? A person could, I mean, most people can come up with 6 7 thousand, but you ain't coming up with 30 40 thousand, not in 1 year's time. So, so for certain people, or they do have other types of loans. If you first time home buyers, they do have other types of loans that you can get that are lower introductory interest rates. But for the most part, if you thinking in terms of how the housing market is working right now, or how Trump wants it to work, he wants to keep the house values at a certain price. And to be honest with you, it's good for people like me who already own property, because for us, the equity that we build up in these homes is that's where most people's wealth comes from. It comes from equity in their homes. So I don't want the housing prices to drop, but I wouldn't mind the interest rates dropping, because that means that if I have some money set aside, I can go buy another house. And my mortgage, because you can get a 10-year mortgage, 20-year mortgage, 30-year mortgage. I've heard now they're trying to do 40
50,
and year
50
mortgage,
years.
which is basically you a long-term renter, but you just building equity in the house is basically all you are. But it don't matter, because if you can get into a house, even if you financed it for 30 years or 40 years, if you can get into the house, you could pay on that house for 5 6 7 8 years. You build enough equity in that house. That is a windfall. A lot of people don't understand that about real estate. It's a windfall when you build equity, and if you in a market to sell, you can bring, because that's how me and my wife ended up getting our Airbnbs, is because we had one house that we was paying on. We stayed there for 11 years. We sold that house. We got, like, I think it was like $65,000 out of that house after we sold it. And we took that money and we started putting down payments on shit and buying properties. And
Okay.
that
And that's
all,
another episode.
yeah, I was just saying that
Save that
all
for.
came in one house. So you know what I'm saying?
So my question would be a quick question, because
Mhm.
Tavy trying to end this.
Yeah, you can.
I
I mean,
don't
you
like.
can. You can
Hey,
stop it. We can still
hey,
talk, but
no,
it
but
can't.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
you
we
can
are we
move
yeah
yourself, Tavy.
because
But
well, it's so much knowledge here in this stage. We can save that, Tony, for another episode,
no,
Okay,
we
we
right?
can see
already
how
on
we
it. We got to finish this right now,
Yeah,
because
all
I
right,
gotta
go
get
ahead.
this out
What's
to
your
the people. Hold
question?
on, it ain't gonna take no
Go
but
ahead, go
five
ahead, go
minutes.
ahead, go
Hey,
ahead.
you can go, Tavy. Hey,
No,
listen.
no, no.
Hey, no, hold on. So my question would be, quick question.
Yeah,
What would you tell people to start doing now with these changes coming?
I would say this. I would say this. Put money aside. What people don't understand is they did a study that if and it's simple math. If you save $100 a week, you could come up with $10,000 by the end of the year. More than 10,000 if you save 100 a week. Every week you gotta save. If you and your wife, like, or you and your spouse, like if you two people, like if you're a husband and a wife, or a boyfriend and girlfriend, and y'all live together, and you each saved 100 a week, you have enough money for a small home down payment. plus whatever savings you got. It's possible. I'm gonna tell you, when I was younger, I didn't think it was possible because I even though my mom had a house when we grew up, I didn't see it for myself until I got of a certain age, and then I understood that, you know, we spend money on what we want to spend money on. If we want to spend it on a big car payment, or we want to spend it on, you know, partying, or we want to spend it on whatever we want to spend it on. But at the end of the day, if you say to yourself, I want a house, you may not be your first, because sometimes most people's first house ain't gonna be the best house they ever have. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, your first house might be a 2-bedroom. If you lucky and you get a good deal, it might be a 3-bedroom. But in America, you can get a decent 2-bedroom. I would say in most regions, not in all, but in most regions, you can get a decent 2-3-bedroom. Well, I would say 2, just to be fair, for about $220. Okay,
Gotcha.
a $220 mortgage is not that much money. I mean, like and I'm saying that based on not on what I make today, but what I made years ago. I can say that that's not a lot of money for a mortgage, because you got to think this is over 20 years or 30 years that you're paying that 200 some thousand plus whatever interest they put on it. But it's just, everybody has to pay for a place to live, right? Anybody who ain't living on the streets paying for a place to live. And if you paying, let's say you get a 1-bedroom apartment or a 2-bedroom apartment, and you paying, you know, $800 to $1,400 a month for rent, you can own a house. That's a fact. It's just your credit got to be right, and you got to have a little bit of money to put down, because first time home buyers get way better concessions than a person who got 1 or 2 or 3 houses. If you first time home buyer, you can get VHA loans. You can get, if you're a veteran, get VA loans. They have like, I think it's like 3 or 4 different government loans that you can apply for if you're a first time home buyer. Now, if you've owned homes before, then you gotta usually go conventional. You gotta, you might have to pay your 20-30%. But I would tell anybody, if you're looking to buy a house, you gotta start saving. And you gotta say, let's say a 3-year plan. Say, I'm gonna save, $200 a month for 3 years. You'll have enough money for a down payment for a house, especially first time home buyer. Especially, so I'll tell anybody, that's the way to go. And people can't say, oh, I don't make but this amount of money, I can't do it. Yes, you can. You just gotta. It's certain things you might have to put what they call delayed gratification. Anybody understands that you have.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you have the delayed gratification of having some other things that you want to get the bigger thing that you want, which is a house.
Yeah.
Best decision I ever made was when me and my wife. Well, she had a house when we first met, and then when she sold that house, and then when we got married, we rented, and then we bought a house together. Best financial decision I ever made. I mean, I got cars and stuff, but that's really, be honest with you, owning a car really is more of a thing where you just want to feel good about yourself. It ain't got nothing to do with fiscal responsibility. Owning a home is fiscal responsibility, because it can take you places that owning a car or owning other stuff ain't gonna take you. Because you sell your car, most of the time you either gonna break even, or you might get $1,000 more. But if you buy a house, especially if you buy in a good economy, and you sell it in a good economy, you could come out there with 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, $100,000 more than what you started.
Yeah.
That's you can't tell me that ain't a good move.
Yeah. And then don't let an intimate domain happen in your area the way you bought your house at. Because then you're talking about the value skyrocketing. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, it's a lot of positive. One thing America did right is creating I don't like the fact that you can never really own a house because of taxes. You can't never really own it. because even when you pay it off, you still have to pay property taxes.
Property tax.
You never,
They need to get rid of them property tax.
Yeah, you never really own a home, but what you do own is you own it for the, if you have a legacy, you own it for that legacy, and you can always have that property and stay in your family as long as you pay the property taxes on it. So there's ways for anybody who watching this podcast. If you want to own a home, you can. You just got to plan it. It's just like anything else. If you want to be, you want to get an education, you got to plan to be in school for at least 4 years. If you want to get a trade, you got to plan to be there for at least 18 months. You got to plan, and then it can happen. So that's my soapbox for today.
I'm about to get up out of here because they ready to run, and I gotta have me some oysters.
Listen, there's too many dimes just been spewed out. I think people are overwhelmed with all that, but great information. We're gonna have a show about that. Financial literacy, ownership. I think that's all important in today's economy. You know what I'm saying?
Especially with me trying to get a high. But that's another story for another day, because we'll be up here.
We should not, seriously, Myron. We should actually do a podcast about it. So that
we need to, because I got a story for you.
Yeah, and I will get all the information together so that when people, and if y'all want to, y'all can even have a call-in segment if you want, and we'll have a list of questions that I know, that the things that you experience, because I bought quite a few houses, so I know the experience that you have to buy and the process. So I can speak on those things, and I would love to help anybody who is interested on the basic foundation of what it takes, because people think it's hard. It's not that hard. It just takes a little commitment, and so we can talk about all of that.
I tell you what, let's set it up for next week, man. Let's set it up for next week. Matter of fact, let's set it up for next weekend, because I'm off Friday and Saturday, so I got plenty of room to play with y'all guys, man. Okay. So let's set it up for Friday, Saturday, man. We'll chop it up, man. But other than that, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, bomb episode, y'all. Yes, and glad we had this, man. Shout out to you, Hustle. Shout out to you, Tony Porter, LLC. Sure. And shout out to the Phillips family. My brother and my sister-in-law just had a recent death in the family.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and so they lost their my brother lost his father-in-law, and my sister lost his father, her father. And so shout out to the Phillips family. Kiva, Bubba, you know who we talking about. We love you. And Jimmy, hey, his spirit gonna move on, and it's gonna always be with our Father up above. So shout out to y'all, and I pray for strength, and God restores everything in the family. I mean, so there we go. Shout out to the Hustle Society Trap Podcast. Shout out to the Sports Town 757. Other than that, though, I have nothing else, man. I think everything's good, y'all. Y'all take care. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
And, Peace. We out of there. Peace.